My name is Duddits, I do builds and stuff. Today I've got something to show you that will blow your mind. I want to show you how to get an absolutely humongous massive damage increase with your bolt charge via Storm's Keep. We're going to be featuring the Sector Force Aeon gauntlets. This increases teammates damage by 20% from all sources, including your bolt charge and Storm's Keep. It's just a really solid way to put out some massive damage. Will be really helpful for contest mode dungeon on Saturday, GM's coming round the corner, and master mode dungeons. So stay with me, I'll break it all down. We'll start off with the Aeon saves. Sector Force, stunning a champion or landed rapid precision hits against a powerful combatant will mark them. Your allies deal increased damage to marked combatants. When a combatant is first marked, nearby Aeon cult allies do not have the Sector Force equipped also gain a boost to their grenade and melee energy. Now, your teammates don't have to have this on. As long as you've got it on, that is perfectly fine. So basically how these Aeons work is land a couple of rapid precision hits and you will get Aeon safe procced up on the bottom left there, and you'll also see that target is sort of like highlighted a little bit. That means it's primed via the Aeons, ready for that 20% extra damage from all sources. So Storm's Keep on the Titan, we all know what this does by now. You stand behind your barricade, you're going to give you and your teammates bolt charge, and that will enable you to fire your weapons and discharge that bolt charge, which, as we know, does already ridiculous damage already. So what I did was got my friend and clanmate Cherby Werby to come over and stick Aeons on for me. He's currently on his Warlock, so he puts the Aeon gauntlets on for me just so I can get the damage numbers. So the very first thing I wanted to test was just the actual Storm's Keep number on its own, just to see what it is. Now, just to get this sort of out the way, I was running the Seasonal Artifact perk Flashover. This is quite important. I ran this through all tests, so I always kept this on. And this enables you to bolt charge to do extra damage, and you become amplified. So I made sure I kept that on through the full entire test. So now, just to clarify, the number from bolt charge standard, there's no Aeons, nothing, just a standard sort of number. You're going to see two numbers, 36 and 54. Now, if you add them both up together, it comes to about 90,470. So 90,470, that is the two numbers sort of stacking together. That's exactly what it comes to. And again, that's just a standard shot. Sorry, the standard bolt charge. So then what I did, obviously, was got my friend Cherby to stick a Sector Force on his Warlock, and he was going to mark the target up, and you're going to see a damage increase. Now, Aeon's a 20% damage increase, so we're looking for a 20% damage increase. And you can already see there, them two numbers are actually different straight away. And you'll also see that Carl's sort of glistening. That means he's ready, primed up again. So I'm going to add these two numbers together. It comes to a total of 108k. The 90,470 all the way up to 108k is a 19.9% damage increase. Exactly almost 20%, let's say. That's the Aeons. That's the Aeon working. So that sort of clarifies that test. Aeons actually buff bolt charge, so we can nail that one. That one's done and dusted. Now, we can actually take it a little bit further than that as well with a couple of different ways. So, because Aeon is a 20% damage increase when you mark them up to Sector Force, you can actually pair it with Buried Bloodline. Buried Bloodline will apply weakening when Devour is active, so you can actually add an extra 15% on top of that. It's a video that I did in the past with a Hunter, applying a 35% damage increase, but Buried Bloodline will apply a 15% weakening debuff as well, and it's quite easy to get a couple of crits, which will obviously proc your Aeon safe, so you can actually stack these both together. So of course I wanted to test that and get the numbers, so the next sort of clip is going to be about these numbers. So again, I'm going to put my barricade down. My friend has got Devour procced and is going to apply that weakening, and you're going to see a further increase. Again, two completely different numbers. So basically, once you add them two together, again, you're going to see 108 to 124. That is an additional 15% damage increase. So that is showing you that Buried Bloodline Aeons are all stacking together. So a total of a 35% damage increase if you run Buried Bloodline, and a 20% damage increase if you just use any other weapon. 35% or 25%, whichever way you look at it, on Bolt Charge is just absolutely ridiculous, especially on the Stormscape Titan, where it's so easy to give your teammates that. So we've got GMs coming up next week, so it could be extremely useful for GMs, a lot of mages, a lot of champions. Now the only thing with Aeons, you got to remember, it doesn't work against bosses, but it's specifically good for really tanky targets that aren't bosses. So GMs, Master Dungeons, and then also we've got the contest mode dungeon coming up on Saturday, because the PlayStation shortages, so they're redoing that again on Saturday the 22nd of February. So it could be extremely useful for that. There's various different encounters where you get loads and loads of tanky targets like ogres, knights and things like that. So it could be extremely useful for that. And I just want to say in this clip as well, this is the Master Dungeon at the moment, and my friend, while I was marking him up myself for him, he was literally just running around with a Sacred Providence pulse rifle and was killing these Master Mode strand subjugators very, very easily just with primary ammo. But that's the video. Let me know what you think. Aeons, Bloodline buff, extra 35% for your Bolt Charge. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.